Back to the Future is just one of those movies that fans can't get enough of. We feel connected to the story, the characters, and even how films like this got made. Today, we're going to go on an adventure to see the iconic filming locations of the first Back to the Future movie. Our plan for this video guide is to visit 7 of our favorite locations in northern Los Angeles County. There are many other spots that you can visit, but these are the top 7 that we wanted to show you, so let's get underway. And unfortunately, since the DeLorean is in the shop, we'll be riding this Chevy Trailblazer. Our first stop is this Burger King where Marty has to get on his way to school. Okay, now this is the opening skateboard scene, and this is exactly where Marty McFly's day starts. He grabs onto the back of a truck and redefines public transportation. Now, in the skateboard world, what Marty's doing in that scene is called skitching. But I think for the vast majority of America, this was the very first time that they actually had seen somebody roll on a skateboard and grab onto the back of a car. Now you can see the Lancer's Diner is also in the background there. Apart from the exterior, this Burger King hasn't changed at all. Now I missed it in my shots, but if you look at the back of the parking lot, you can see this fence that Marty kicks through. This was actually the facade that they built for Doc Brown's workshop, and you could see it backs right up to the edge of the Burger King. Up next on our scene locations is the famous Hill Valley High School. Now this school is actually Whittier High School in Whittier, California, and it was featured in the 1985 scenes as well as the famous scenes from 1955. The Whittier High School campus was used in many shots, interiors, exteriors, all over for both Back to the Future 1 and Back to the Future 2. So it's an outstanding location to visit as part of this scene location tour. When making this video, I actually arrived at Whittier High School on the weekend, and as a result, the campus was completely locked up. But you can see we got these great exterior shots, and it was a fantastic visit. I would love to have actually been able to come onto the campus and have a better look around. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, then you should follow Whittier High School alumni and the Whittier High School online. Occasionally, they will allow people to have access to the campus to come in, take a look at the different filming locations, and just have a more complete experience. I'll list their social media contacts in the description below this video. And while I'm here getting some education on screen locations of Back to the Future, I want to invite you to like and subscribe to The Fandom Traveler. I go all around and build travel guides for different movies that I enjoy so that you have a little bit of an idea of what it's like to go visit those places, maybe inspiring you to actually go to them yourself. I also visit lots of pop culture events, so if that sounds fun to you, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, and throw a like on here as well. And if you're a big Back to the Future fan, what should I have seen here that I didn't? Or is there a location that you would recommend from the first movie that you would recommend that I also add to this collection? Our next location is a very famous mall where Marty was summoned by the Doc and was able to witness time travel happening for the very first time. Now, this is Puente Hills Mall near Pacoima, a little north of West Covina. It's a little bit out there, so you've actually got to make a hike to come out here, but it's well worth it. Marty was instructed by the Doc to show up at 1:15 in the morning. Marty rode his skateboard right down here and right up to the sign right there where we could actually see Doc Brown's truck and his whole setup with the DeLorean. This is the parking lot where Marty sees the DeLorean for the first time, and you can spot some similarities here. In fact, actually, this building in the back, which is closed, still has the iconic columns as well as the blue partial covering in the front there. Right next to it is actually the entrance to the Puente Hills Mall, and we'll talk just a little bit more about the mall here in a minute. This gigantic space over here used to be a JCPenney. You can also barely see the outline of the old sign and the letters on the wall there. And back here is where Einstein and the DeLorean took off and then basically raced through here in the film distance, of course. Right about there, it hit 88 miles an hour and took off through time. Now, as I understand it, the Puente Hills Mall actually has a little piece of Back to the Future lore inside. We got here just when the mall opened, so we're gonna go in and see if we can find that and show it to you. There are still a few stores that are open here. Just seeing a lot of these old rides, it just makes me think about like how vibrant mall culture used to be back when I was a lot younger. Okay, looks like we have actually found the sign here. 1:16 a.m. That's exactly when Marty was expected to arrive here. I wonder what they do with this once the mall goes away. Maybe they'll auction this off, maybe they'll donate it somewhere. I certainly hope that they do put this in a place where other people will get the benefit and be able to find it and experience it. Now, if you find yourself in this area around Back to the Future Day, there usually are some celebrations that are held here. A lot of folks dressing up like Marty, Doc Brown, that will come here. You might see a DeLorean or two, so check it out if you happen to be around in the area. Okay, we've made our way to beautiful Pasadena, and this is the exterior of Doc Brown's house. This is the Gamble House, and it's one of the most beautiful houses in America. This place was built in 1908, and in the film, we actually saw Marty come running up. They used this exterior for Doc's house, which is pretty incredible. Back in 1955. This was his house back in 1955. What's really cool also is right over here is a bookshop. We're gonna walk over here and get a little bit of a closer view. This was actually the workshop where they worked on the DeLorean. That was filmed right inside this bookshop. So we're gonna go over here and take a closer look. Now, the Gamble House is actually available for tours. I think they charge $20 to go take a look around. And it's an amazing piece of architecture. In fact, I was just driving around in this neighborhood. There's so many beautiful homes here, but this one yet is still a standout. It's only open until 4 o'clock. So if you're interested in looking around, make sure you get here early. Now just take one look at those doors and you will remember the iconic garage where they actually worked on the DeLorean in the first film. I understand they offer some Back to the Future merch, so let's go in and take a look. Now the bookstore had some really cool Funko Pops here, the Doc with the clock tower, Doc with the time machine, the classic Out of Time license plate. They also had some coloring books. They had Michael J. Fox's autobiography, and they also had a few other really neat and cool things up here. They had this cool shirt, The Future Hasn't Been Written Yet. If you come by the Gamble House, make sure you check out this cool bookstore. Now, one interesting thing to add to this is the door that's here is actually not the door that they shot from. In fact, that's actually another location entirely. This is the Blacker House. Now, we were at the Gamble House, and that was used as the exterior for the approach that Marty made to Doc Brown's house. But when it actually came time to film the front door scene,
Doc? Don't say a word. Doc.
well, this is actually where that happened. Now, this house is absolutely gorgeous, and they've managed to actually keep the original door from the filming here, which made this an extra special treat. This is a can't miss stop on your Back to the Future location tour. Next up is the Lorraine House, and this street was used for many locations like this dolly shot down the sidewalk, and of course the most famous spot was actually the exterior of the Lorraine House. Now you can spot the telltale signals of the exterior. It had different paint back then, but it still looks exactly the same. And if you're curious about that tree that Marty's dad was actually spying from, well, yes, it's still there right across the street. This street was also used in the sequel. Biff's house is just down the street if you're interested in exploring a little bit further. We've saved the best for last, so let's use all of our time traveling capabilities to take ourselves to the next location. And the final location on our scene tour for Back to the Futures is the McFly residence. It's one of the pivotal places of the film, and it was an absolute pleasure to be able to come and visit this property. One of the things that's most amazing is that the lady who owns this home purchased it in the 70s and actually was present for all the days of filming. For those of you who are regular visitors to set locations, you will know that it's not always common for the property owners to be super friendly. But in this case, the property owner asked us to come in and sign a guest book. She took lots of photos for us and was generally very polite and nice. Also gave us a cool flyer that had some really cool production stills, including a shot of her granddaughter being held by Michael J. Fox. Now, there were a number of awesome scenes filmed here, including here at the garage. You'll remember that Marty opens up and sees his killer black truck, which was awesome even back in the day. Another one of my favorite scenes here takes place on the porch when Marty and Jennifer are having a look back and his parents are looking on lovingly. And just around this hedge is the famous gate that featured in the first and the second film. One of my favorite uses of this gate was actually in the second film when Marty came back. He noticed that the gate was actually padlocked, so he does what anyone would do and jumps the fence. And one of my favorite shots that features this house is actually from the third film, where you get this really great dolly shot. It's just really amazing to be at this location, and I'm so thankful to the owner of the house for being so welcoming. Now, when you walk out into the street, they've actually painted down on the ground the perfect location for you to see the long shot of the DeLorean actually coming out, driving down the street. And it's at this time when we hear Doc Brown utter those immortal words.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Of all of the locations, I think this one generated the most emotions. Of course, the mall scene is fantastic, but just being here at the filming location, having seen this on the big screen so many different times, it just really brought back to me the importance of this film and how long it's been with me in my life. So that concludes our 7 scene locations for Back to the Future. We hope you really enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for coming along with us. Once again, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and it really helps the channel. Please also drop a comment for where you think we should go next. The locations that are shown in this film are in the description below, so check it out there. And remember, the credits may roll, but the adventure never ends. So long, everybody.